my name is Samantha Smith and I want to talk to you guys about composting. Do you guys know that the closest landfill is 38 miles away and it's reaching capacity within the next 5 to 10 years? Once it fills up, our costs as Nashville citizens for disposing of waste will triple. This is why citizens of Nashville need to be creative on how we're getting rid of our waste, especially since we're the fastest growing city in the nation. For this very reason is why Nashville leaders are coming up with a plan to divert 90% of all waste that goes into a landfill. According to an article published by Jordan Pear on June 29, 2018, she stated, Davidson County has produced 1.2 million tons of waste in 2016, according to the recent study done by Metro Nashville Public Works and Tennessee Department of Environment and Conservation. And Nashville only recycled or composted 25% of that 1.2 million tons. This is what sparked my interest in learning how citizens of Nashville can encourage composting. I believe you too can take ownership and interest in decreasing the amount of waste that goes into the local landfill, and also improving the environment. My goal is to educate you on local changes Nashville leaders are making to how we decompose of our waste, and also how to compost, and the benefits of opening your own composting business. Through this education, I hope it will motivate you to open your own composting business at an industrial level. According to the Metropolitan Government of Nashville County Solid Waste Master Plan Board and Summary, written by Sharon Smith, Assistant Director of the Metro Public Works, the board said that they're at 83% of their overall goal of determining a plan to divert 90% of waste from going into the landfill. There are many parts to this plan, but the biggest opportunity is composting. The board is also shifting their focus on composting. In the last summary that they stated that over the upcoming months, the team will continue to support and evaluate a digestion of food waste as a potential alternative to landfilling the waste, and work with Metro Public Works and Metro Water Services and Brown and Caldwell to evaluate potential options for how we will compost. With the opportunities possible with composting in the Master Zero Waste Plan, Nashville leaders are going to incentivize commercial and individuals for how much they compost. And not only that, they're going to put restrictions on what items go in, what organic materials go into the landfill. Currently, there's only one business collecting composting at a commercial and residential level. Nashville is growing at a rapid rate, and if the county puts out these restrictions on organic materials that go into the landfill, how will one business take in all this additional waste or organic materials into their facility? With the growing desire from city leaders to come up with an alternative method for disposing this waste, it is important that you understand what composting is, how to do it, and the benefits that it has on the environment. Composting is a process that turns organic materials into fertile soil. When these organic materials are turned into fertile soil, it creates almost no greenhouse gases. If you put the same materials into the landfill, it creates a methane gas. And not only that, it takes up the precious space that we have left in our landfill. With these negative effects that are associated with not composting, how will us as Nashville citizens, as a business entities and individual levels, compost? Well, I'm glad you asked. First, if you put the slide up, you can create your own composting bin in your backyard. I would recommend that you put it in a location where you don't mind it smelling as bad. What you have to do is just create 4 walls, leave the bottom empty because you're going to want to put sticks on the bottom. Then you'll take your organic materials and you want to alternate between wet and dry waste and put them in the layer. Once you create a layer, put manure over it, and then every so often, probably every 2 weeks, you're going to want to take a pitchfork and you're going to want to turn it to make your fertile soil. If you're not looking to do it in your backyard, but you're looking to do it at a commercial scale and turn your trash into cash, your mind is in the right spot. An article written by Rhonda Sherman on March 1st, 1999, called Large-Scale Organic Material Composting stated, "The key to starting your successful composting enterprise is to understand the basics, including how composting works, what types of facilities can handle this process, which raw materials work best, and how to manage order and how to produce a high market quality products." These components mentioned are how you successfully turn your trash into cash. In this article, there's 4 different methods that Sherman talked about. The first one is called passive piles, which is the most cost efficient, and it's similar to how you do it in your backyard, except for it's a giant pile that you just leave there to decompose. It takes the longest time to turn into fertile soil, but it's the most cost efficient. The next is the windrow pile, which is the exact same method. It's more labor intensive because you're constantly turning that same pile over and over and over again. Next is, you can leave it on the slide, is a static pile. It basically turns fertile soil within weeks. It supplies air underneath the pile, which helps to turn that soil faster. Of course, it costs a little bit more. The most expensive option at an industrial level, and with this option, you're able to turn the soil into fertile soil within days or weeks. It costs the most. It's called in-vessel. Sherman states, "In-vessel refers to a diverse group of methods that combine the composting process with the container, building, or vessel and uses a combination of force, acceleration, or mechanical turning to speed up the composting." I know this all seems a little bit overwhelming with the options of owning your own business or even creating composting in your backyard. However, you've now been educated on what the local changes are going to be, how to compost in your own backyard, and the benefits of opening a business at an industrial level. The choice is yours to help the environment, but the question is, how will you do that? Will you risk opening your own business and servicing Nashville at a commercial level? I challenge you to team up with the leaders of Nashville and start composting yourself.